Take a breath. I am Lisa Hurley, activist, author, and community builder. Welcome to Space to Exhale, the podcast, weekly inspiration for self-love and soft living. Hello, folks, and welcome to Space to Exhale, the podcast, a safe, serene sanctuary where we focus on high vibrations, affirmations, soft living, and self-care. I'm your host, Lisa Hurley. I'm a 3-time Anthem Award-winning activist, a Reiki master, and the author of Space to Exhale, a handbook for curating a soft, centered, serene life. I'm here to help us all do just that. Relax, take a breath, say no to hustle culture, and yes to a life of ease. My hope and dream is for us all to curate lives that we don't feel we need a break from. Today, this is a very special episode because it's pub day for my debut book, Space to Exhale. So today's show is a celebration. I'm joined by several people who have played a key role in helping me get to this important day. My sister, Sharon Hurley Hall, as well as my sisters, Liku Amadi, LaTonya Davis, Alexis Mobley, and Elona Washington. They will all be fully introduced soon, but first, let's start the way we always do with a few deep breaths. So close your eyes, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, and inhale through your nose and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And once more, inhale and exhale. As we go through today's show, I want you to hold this episode's affirmation in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit. And it is, I am giving myself permission to exhale. I am giving myself permission to exhale. I am giving myself permission to exhale. And now that we're grounded, let me relax. I'ma just chill. I'ma hug my book. I'ma grab my tissues because I know tears are gonna happen. And I will turn things over to my good sis, Alexis, who is our moderator for today.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Welcome, everyone. Woof. We
Woo!
got to repeat that 3 times, right? That's what
Mm-hmm.
that's when it comes to repeating our mantras and our affirmations, right? So, welcome to the celebration of Lisa Hurley's inaugural book, Space to Exhale, a handbook for curating a soft, centered, serene life. Today, we invite you to disconnect from hustle culture, slow down, and give yourself space to exhale, space to laugh, love, and learn, not only from the author and her sister friends, but from one another. But before we can get into all of that, we got some important housekeeping items. And trust me, you want to lock into this part. I know most people, it's like the airline when you lock in and the flight attendants are telling you about the safety information, everyone is playing on their phone. This ain't the time for that, right? So housekeeping first. It wouldn't be a party without gifts, right? So Lisa is giving away 1 copy of Space to Exhale at the end of today's event. To enter the giveaway, all you got to do is drop exhale into the comments, and you got to stay to the end. That's it. So again, you got to drop exhale, EXHALE, into the comments and stay to the end. Simple, right? Second, more gifts. Each sister friend has also generously provided gifts, which they will tell you about during the broadcast. Ultimately, if you're interested in what they're offering and you want to take part, slide in those LinkedIn DMs after today's conversation. Third, whew, we,
We're gonna
we,
get through it.
we
We're gonna get through it.
look, we want today to feel like you're at the cookout with all your favorite people. Not that raggedy cookout that some of us have to attend with, folks that we don't like speaking to or we try to avoid. No, this is the cookout with all of your favorite people. So that means the comment section should be popping. To show love, share love, we want you to drop hearts, specifically pink hearts, green hearts, or white hearts. If none of the hearts work for you, fine. Drop the emoji for books. All of those represent Lisa's brand, this book. It has been a theme throughout all of her LinkedIn posts if you followed her throughout this incredible journey. If there are affirmations that you love from Lisa's countless videos, we want to see them. Drop them in the comments. If you have questions about knowing yourself, loving yourself, being yourself, do us a favor, place the word questions or drop the letter Q in front so that we can easily spot questions and highlight them for everyone to partake in. So once again, if you have questions in the front of it, just drop the word questions or place a Q in front. If there's any like wisdom, and we know Lisa is a font of wisdom, share how that's impacted you. Again, this should feel like a community gathering of all of your favorite people, not just the ones on the stage, the ones in the comment section as well. Now, finally, tag your friends, invite them into the room, and most importantly, grab your tissues. Your author over here is probably crying right now, happy tears as I speak. The emotions are running high today. And so we expect tears across this entire conversation. And we welcome them because they celebrate the journey, the culmination of this journey. And I'm biased, but today promises to be that community event that y'all talk about for days. Today's space honors and aligns the exhalation point framework. That is the foundation upon which Lisa's book is built. This framework comprises three elements: know yourself, love yourself, and be yourself. And it's meant to help us dispense with hustle culture and instead embrace ease, a soft life, if you will. Know yourself is creating a soft life starts with knowledge of self. When you know who you are, it's easier to build a life that is steeped in the energies of peace and abundance. Love yourself. Curating a soft life is built on self love. When you love yourself, you make choices that better serve your highest good. Be yourself. Curating a soft life is based on being true to yourself. When you're true to yourself, your inner and outer worlds are aligned, you stay in flow, and you're able to exhale. Throughout our conversation, we're going to chat with phenomenal women who I'll introduce shortly to share their perspectives on how Space to Exhale help them across each of those framework elements. The next 30 minutes are your permission to exhale alongside us. I am so thrilled to introduce this beautiful panel. Woof!
Yes.
Women who, without hesitation, answered the call, showed up to support Lisa on this, her publication day. Now, before we jump in, these sisters are phenomenal. They all have accolades and accomplishments that are books long. So we ain't doing all that because that would take the entire. We're not doing that, right?
Right.
What we will do though is provide those, contact and bio details in the show notes. But we're gonna kick it off with Liku Amadi, Esquire, business attorney and host of Black Women Can Have It All podcast. LaTonya Davis, natural hair influencer, autism mom, lawyer, and AI specialist. Another Esquire. You see? See? Phenomenal. Sharon Hurley Hall, author of I'm Tired of Racism, who reminds us that we can have impact without exhaustion. If her name looks and sounds familiar to that of our author, that's because they're sisters. Like share the same DNA, got the same mama sisters. Not sister friends, sister sisters. Okay? Elona Washington, CEO and founder, owner of The Author's Journey, who in her best Cardi B voice reminds us that marketing is forever.
Forever.
Forever, ever. Right? Now, look, quick side note, most people, when Alona told me, when she gave me the little information about forever, she spelled it Forever. That translated in my head to Forevah. Forever.
Yes.
Okay.
Forever.
Forever. And finally, there is moi. If you've not experienced me before, I am Alexis Mobley, the executive tea lady and CEO at I Matter Coaching and Consulting, whom Lisa has dubbed for the last couple of weeks the hostess with the mostest. So, are y'all ready to get this party started?
Yes.
Drop some. I can't see in the comments. Drop some stuff in the comments. Oh, I see the hearts. I see all the hearts. Okay.
Okay. Yes, that is the vibe for today. Oh my gosh. So listen, y'all. Sometimes, hey, Sharon Aline Elcock. Okay, just a brief. I just need to say this. Sharon Aline Elcock. She's Sharon Aline Elcock now. I have known her since age 11. We went to primary school together in Barbados. We went to high school together in Barbados. And she actually texted me the other day on Facebook. She pre-ordered the book. She has it. She sent me a photo. And this is my childhood friend. And this is the vibe for today. So Sharon, I'm just seeing all the names. Everybody that I'm seeing in the comments, I'm seeing Melissa, Sharon, Ellen Wagner, Archita. I'm just going through Lynn, just all these, Linda, all these people that I know and keep showing up for me. And so I'm just so grateful. Thank you all. And of course, everybody on stage here. Y'all know you have my heart. So love you and appreciate you. All right, that was I don't even know what I was supposed to be saying. I got sidetracked, but that's why I need Alexis. That's why I need Alexis. And also big shout out to Latrice Torres, who is off stage but behind the scenes making all of this happen. None of this happens without so seamlessly and beautifully without Latrice. So you might not see her face, but she is there making all of this work. And so Latrice, big shout out to you. Much love and appreciation. You already know. So, all right, I'm gonna shut up because I got, ADHD has me in a chokehold now and excitement. So let me be quiet. Alexis, I turn it back over to you.
Well, before we transition, I also want to, give a shout out to Latrice. If you don't see her today, if you are in person on Saturday, you will not only see her, you will experience her. So when you walk into the venue and you see and smell, literally smell the experience, go hug Latrice.
Hug Latrice. Incense is involved. It's just incense and beauty. It's beautiful.
So, okay. So let's start with know yourself, right? Curating a soft life starts with knowledge of self. I want to let travel back to, and Lisa, I got receipts, right? So I want to time travel back.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, I want to time travel back to February 13th, 2024. right? When Lisa hesitantly asked to meet in hopes of working together. And I'll never forget that call 3 days later. Um, the person on Zoom was not the same vivacious woman I'd initially met in 2022. The woman before me had had her spark extinguished and was in, pure survival mode. She was raw and tender, seeking a way home, a way back to the Lisa she once knew. And I want to be very clear about this. There was no book at that point. Lisa and I laugh about this now, but very few words were written at that point. Over the course of the next few months, the metamorphosis began and the words poured forth. So, Lisa, when you think back on that time, what did you discover about yourself through that transformation?
Ooh, I discovered, oh my gosh, the value of trusting your instincts, which then led me because something told me that you were. Listen, y'all. Alexis said yesterday, grab your tissues, and I forgot, and I feel the tears are already coming, and I have no tissues. So if I happen to go off camera for a second, it's because I need to go get some tissues. But I remember, yeah, it was just like feeling like you were somebody I could trust and reach out to, even when I wasn't feeling totally together. I didn't feel like you would judge me for that. And so trusting the instinct to reach out to you, and then in the way that you showed up, you confirmed that I was right to trust my instincts because of how you showed up. And I actually remember us initially talking about trust, and you weren't trying to convince me to do anything. You were like, well, share what you want when you want. I can't make you trust me. You're going to have to show up. Show up. I will show up. And when the trust is ready, when the trust is built, everything will change. But it can't happen on the first day, but it will happen. And that gave me permission and space to just be myself, and to be vulnerable. There was lots of crying involved, as you know. Lots. Always with me, lots of crying. But at that time, there were not happy tears. There were tears of, there was a lot of despair. There was a lot of brokenness at that time. But I knew you were someone who would be able to help me rebuild and reconstruct myself. And so working with you, it started off as I think we were always like kind of like, friendly, but we weren't like always,
Mhm.
in constant communication. But I definitely felt there was something. I was like, nah, this is a good one, basically. Oh, thank you. All right, I'll just break the thing for a minute. And so my mom, who is off screen, boom, tissues. Thank you, Mama Bear.
We we
Uh,
we love.
we love mamas. Mamas are the absolute best. Yeah, so you helped me relearn about trusting my instincts, trusting myself, being able to trust others. You helped me um, relearn the beauty of vulnerability, because vulnerability and weakness are two different things. There's a strength in being able to share and show your vulnerability, knowing that it will be held, knowing that it will be protected, right? And so that is what you provided for me. And I learned, I just learned about the beauty of true friends. Again, it was just another confirmation. Yes, there have been some dusty experiences, but those are not the only ones. There is grace. There is an opposite. There are opportunities for genuine friendship, genuine connection, genuine support, bi-directional and beneficial. We had to say it, right? I don't know. Was that the plan? I don't know if that was the plan, but please tell everybody about bi-directional and beneficial.
Okay, so maybe 2022.
Yeah.
It was either your post, I think, or Sharon's post, and the conversation was just around relationships and how a lot of the relationships on LinkedIn seem to be transactional, and
Yes.
it seemed to be very through the lens of how can I extract from you
Mm-hmm.
with no support or return, me returning anything back to you. And so because I have a smart mouth, right? And I love words, I love alliteration. I and also I pop off in the comments. Like I live in the
You do.
comments. And so I popped off in the comments. I said it needs to be bi-directional and beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't want it. Because if you are pouring into me and I'm not pouring into you, vice versa, then
Mm-hmm.
what? So
Mm-hmm.
that's how that phrase came into existence. And it resonated, everyone loved it. And here we are 3 years
Here
later.
we are. And let me just say, because, and I'm going to probably, this is something that is important to me about support and about paying people and all of, and paying slash remunerating slash offering in kind, right? Everything does not have to be financial, but again, bi-directional and beneficial. And so, when I reached out to Alexis, because of where we were in our friendship at that time, I definitely felt like I could reach out to her, right? I felt comfortable enough to do that. But, um, I wanted to reach out to her as a, in the spirit of respect. So I said, hey, I literally said, I do not have, I did say this, it's okay to say it. I don't have the budget right now, right? However, here is what I can offer you in kind because I would like to work with you. Please let me know if this is okay, what you think about it. And Elaine Lynn Herring, my friend who is in the comments, she did a beautiful post today about giving people the option to say no or to say an easy yes, or make the safe space for them. So I said, no pressure, genuinely no pressure, but here's what I can offer if you are willing to work with me. She said, okay, let me think about it, because she felt no pressure. I think like the next day you were like, okay, here's what we're gonna do, and we did it. I gave her my part of the bargain. She gave me her part of the bargain, but it was because we both um treated each other with respect. So there was not extractiveness coming from me nor from her. And so I really want to share that, and that alone also helped cement what Alexis and I have now built into a beautiful, beautiful sisterhood and friendship, right? We are the people for each other. In fact, everybody on this call, to be honest, I mean, all y'all have gotten a 10:30 p.m. call from me, I'm sure. Sharon is like, you mean 5:30 a.m.? But okay, details. But we do that for each other because we now have that kind of friendship. The one word text. I texted Alexis and Tammy. Tammy is not here, but I know that she's here in spirit, right? I need help. I have texted that to Tammy and Alexis. I've texted it to, like I said, everybody here, including again Latrice, who's behind the scenes. Everybody on this call has gotten that text from me, and they have responded, and it has gone the other way as well. Y'all have texted, Alexis, you're like, I know it's late, but I need to, no problem. Let's talk. Let's talk right now. Hour and a half later, we still talking because it needs to be talked about now. But that's okay. That's okay. So thank you for that. And thanks for all the lessons in rebuilding trust and the beauty of the verb part of being a friend. Friend is a verb as well. So that's something that I learned.
Thank you for sharing that, Lisa. Would you also share with us
Mhm.
uh, a passage from the Know Yourself section of the book?
I certainly would. I would love to do. All right, I'm gonna stop. Legal. I called my sister. I don't even remember how early it was this morning. Acting the fool. I was like, I have a book and I'm an author. So y'all gonna have to just excuse me. This is 5-year-old Lisa has shown up today. So you get what you get, right? I'm excited. Alexis, you look like you're laughing till you're crying.
We're here for all of it. I can't laugh the way I would if I were talking to you one-on-one. I gotta count it together.
You mean like how Latrice and I laughed in that blooper video?
In the Yes, yes, yes.
That was a good old belly laugh. But yes, too, I know. Thank you for keeping me and us on track. And I will absolutely get myself together and I will read a passage from the book. So this is from the Know Yourself section of the book. So I love being Black. And even more than that, I love being a Black woman. There is something so sweet and special about being a member of the sisterhood. Our melanin, our magic, our movementations. Yes, I would never want to be anything else. I also love being African American. And of course, I love being West Indian. I love that I was born in Jamaica, where my parents studied at the University of the West Indies. Grew up briefly in Trinidad, my mother's homeland, and then mostly in Barbados, my father's homeland. Intersectional identities for the win. I am also happy that my family is my family. I enjoy seeing our DNA express itself in similar yet different ways. It fills me with pride to see our traits and talents passed from one generation to another. As the soca queen Alison Hinds sang in her classic calypso "Born with It," and I'm just going to interject here. I'm not a singer, so just bear with me. My great great grandmother passed it down. My great grandmother passed it down. My mother get it from my granny, and mommy gave it to me. We was born with it. So once, when I was speaking on a panel, the moderator asked me how I identify. I immediately answered, I am blackity black, black, black. And I threw my fist up for good measure. We all laughed at my response. And I was kind of joking, but mostly not. I am not a person of color. I am Black, period. And yes, there's a difference. A few years later, I was able to back up my reply with science. I had my DNA tested so I could get a glimpse into my ancestry beyond the Caribbean connection. The results were pretty much what I expected. I'm 90% of African origin, mostly from Ghana, Ivory Coast, Benin, Togo, and Nigeria. It brought the biggest smile to my face to see evidence of a connection to the motherland I had always known existed. Of course, for those of us who study actual history, it will come as no surprise that the remaining 10% is of European descent because slavery. I mean, where do you think the surname Hurley came from? It is courtesy of the colonizers. Knowing and embracing my ancestry fills me with a feeling of pride, a sense of connection and community. It fortifies my sense of identity. I feel like I belong. End scene.
Wow. I am blackity black black black. That takes a certain knowing of self and confidence to stand 10 toes down on a panel to
Mhm.
make that statement.
Yeah, we're not doing any half measures. We're not doing it, nothing like that. We're claiming it full out. Blackity black black black, because a lot of the world tries to get us to water ourselves down, to silence ourselves. And there is so much power in knowing your ancestry as much as we can know, right? Knowing your ancestry, claiming it, as you put it, standing 10 toes down with pride and claiming it fully and owning who you truly are. There is so much power in knowing yourself, and knowing your ancestry is part of knowing yourself. I like I said, I don't want to be anything else. I mean, are there I don't even want to say that it can be a tough road to be racialized as Black. I don't even really want to say that. It really is that there's a tough road when we're operating under white supremacy. That is more accurate, right? That is more accurate. So I love being Black. I love being Black. I love melanin. I used to, when I lived in Barbados, I would go out, much to my mother's distress. She was always trying to get me to wear some sunscreen and, go under the shade. No, I was back in the day before we knew better. Listen, drenched in baby oil. Yes, yes. in a bikini, drenched in baby oil on the beach in Barbados because I am like, I want to be crispy by the time I want to be crispy melanin by the time I am done. Yes.
Let's bring in
What is it? Is it crispy melanin? That's what I see.
it's baby oil.
Baby oil, yes. But
Because
listen, but y'all know what
back
I
in the
mean, though.
day, back in the day, that's what you
Yeah.
did.
Mhm.
Coconut oil. Liku and Elona. Elona, I'd love for you to share. You know, what's something beautiful Lisa helped you see about yourself?
Aw.
First of all, congratulations, Lisa. We are
Thank you.
here. We did
Thank you.
it. All of that stress and
Ooh,
drama has brought you here. So you birthed the
yeah.
baby. Yay.
Yay. My baby, she's a pretty, I'm pretty. She's a pretty girl. Okay, moving on.
Yes. So Lisa and I, we started off friend like for about a
Mhm.
year. And then she became my book marketing client. But I didn't realize until I got her book just how important rest and breath were. So, if you guys don't know who I am or you don't know my story, most of you guys do not, my trauma started at 2 years old. So, when people say, remember who you are, that's not it for me, right? I
Mhm.
just have been living in trauma. And
Mhm.
my nervous system has always been fight, flight, or freeze, mostly freeze. And I have been doing the work to settle my nervous system since about 2022. But honestly, Lisa's book helped me to settle my nervous system down and realize that, yes, I'm a kind person. I want people to win, and I don't have to put up with toxic people or toxic environments to get there. I can stand firm in who I am and still succeed. And that energy has brought me clients and has brought me even prospects who are aligned, right? And I am so grateful for this book. And I'll give you an example. Lisa's podcast, my son hears them. He'll come downstairs, he wants ice for his water. So I'll mute it, but he can hear Lisa. And at the start of every podcast, Lisa says, let's do some breath work. So one day I was about to go off on my son about something. He was like, breathe, breathe, breathe. And I was like, oh my God, he's right.
I
So
love it.
I stopped and I did my breath and then I organized my thoughts and I reset my nervous system. So
Oh.
this has been such an amazing journey for me. And it was the last piece that I needed, the, the,
Mhm.
the healing reset that I needed for my system. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to hear that. Ooh. All right.
Thank
I'm gonna not say anything because I will wander off, but so I'll just turn it over to Liku.
So, Liku, my question for you is, how has how has Lisa's work changed how you see yourself? Like, how has that wisdom of interacting with her allowed you to better know you?
I have about 97 things to say, Alexis. And I know we don't have the time, but
Oh,
first, again, Lisa, congratulations.
thank
I
you, my
am so
darling.
proud of you.
Thank
You are
you.
helping so many women with this book, and I appreciate you for taking the time and effort to see this through and put this out into the world.
Thank you.
Okay.
Not gonna cry. Not gonna cry. Not gonna
Number
cry.
two, I am Lisa's attorney.
Mhm.
So working with her, Alexis, has been very insightful because not only
Mm.
am I reading these words, like I'm behind the scenes with
Mhm.
her, right? Of course, making sure terminology is tight, get things protected, move the right way, but also like Lisa's become my friend.
Yeah.
So we're both getting to experience each other as Black women, like having bomb days, having days when it's like, we need
Yes.
to talk about this, or let's check in about that other thing. And so that's been really valuable because know yourself. For me, one of the other things that I do is I'm the host of the Black Women Can Have It All podcast. And the idea behind that has been that there are so many stories that have been told about Black women, told for us, told about us, but we haven't done that ourselves. So know yourself for me is like, we have to find it too. Sometimes we have to create it. And there's a lot of dipping in and out of, this is what I want it to be. This is what it should look like. Can I stay consistent with this? Right? Because it takes time to know ourselves, to redefine things for ourselves. And I feel like the book is a great framework to say, hey, you want to live this beautiful, serene life? Do this first, then move here, then move there. And that first part is so it's so, I don't even, convoluted. It can be heavy. It can be a release. It's beautiful in all of these different ways, but it is necessary. That's why it's important to do the work of remembering who.
Right? We see.
The opportunity to forge a different path for yourself, one that you have consciously chosen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's so critical because subconsciously, like, we move how everyone else is told. This is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to grow up. And you even go into it a little bit about your book. And so I appreciate that this has reminded me, like, I can live the life that I want to live. It'll take some work, but it is within my reins, right? It's within my control. And I think a lot of other women, whoever reads this book, is going to also get that message at minimum and really question what is life looking like right now, right? Like, what control do I have? What stories can I change? Like, oh, I actually realized, Lisa says in her book, like, our worthiness is inherent. Like, there are a lot of things that we don't have to earn or perform for, despite being told and raised otherwise. So I'm gonna stop right there because I can talk. But I appreciate how light Lisa made that in her book, because it's something that can be heavy for a lot of women. So thank you, Lisa.
And thank you so much. I just want to say, like, I'm just looking at this beautiful. Is somebody taking a screenshot of this? Because
somebody please
take a screen. Are we ready? Are we ready? We're ready. Okay. But on a serious note, like I said, 5-year-old Lisa is in full effect. But on a serious note, I am looking here and this warms my heart because I'm seeing client turn friend, client turn friend, client turn friend. That's what I'm seeing. And that, because people, yes, there's always the opposite side. People like to say, women can't get along and all this sort of stuff. This is women getting along. This is women respecting. And let me tell you, Liku knows, right? Elona, when I finally got some budget, and Alexis, like I said, I shared very openly, when I was working with Alexis, like, I don't have no budget, but I can do this, right? Liku knows. Listen, when she sends me that invoice, instant click. When I said, Elona, I would like to work with you. What is it going to be? She told me her price. Here's your money, right? So again, start off with respect. So start off with respect, but then we have all built this, just this friendship and this bond, and that is the foundation is respect. I realized early when I was starting to, I wanted to do a, I don't know, I think I wanted to do like a trademark. I don't even remember. I went on that trademark office thing website, and I was like, oh, no. I'm gonna mess myself up. I call Liku? I'm like, okay, let me hire an expert. She and I already knew each other at that point. I'm like, no, I need an expert. So you start off with respect, but then you show up beyond the, as Alexis would say, it's not transactional. So check in on Liku and her family. Elona has, I don't know, like a little health scare. How are you doing? How are you feeling? I just want to know about you, the human being. And we all do that for each other. And I would say it's also because we do know ourselves. And so we are all, everybody on this call, like again, on stage, off stage right now, everybody on this call has letters. Listen, the whole alphabet behind their name, right? Letters upon letters and credentials and all of that. But we are beautiful human beings. We are human first, respect one another, and there's no jealousy. There's no jealousy because we know who we are. And so, I can be in the, my sister has published, I don't even know how many books at this point. I know there are at least 2, 3 in print, I think. She'll be on stage at some point. She'll correct me. I know there are at least 2 in print, right? Exploring Shadism and I'm Tired of Racism. She's published several others. I'm not jealous. I'm like, oh, let me be inspired. Let me learn, right? When Liku, snatches my edges and said, girl, you cannot do that. Right? When both Elona and Alexis are good for Lisa. Lisa, focus. Go and do this one thing now. Do this one thing. I don't get upset because they're the experts in their area. And so because I know that they're experts, they know themselves. I know myself. I'm able to be schooled by people who know better. It's nothing against me. And I want more people to embrace that. Let everybody can shine. Everybody can shine. And what I love about everybody in this room is we are comfortable letting each other shine because we know ourselves. So we're not threatened by each other. So that's what I wanted to say.
So speaking of shining, speaking of sharing, I think both Elona and Liku have that they want to offer or extend to the community.
Ooh, do tell.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Yes. So I have 5 tickets that I would like to gift for Lisa's in-person event on June 21st in Newark, New Jersey. Now, mind y'all, I'm in Nashville and I'm still going to go to Newark, New Jersey. So if y'all not doing nothing this weekend and you can drive, fly, take the train, bus, boat, whatever, I will gift you one of these 5 tickets. If you're in the area and you ain't doing nothing on Saturday, DM me and get one of these tickets.
And to be clear, DM on LinkedIn, correct?
DM on LinkedIn. Some people are on YouTube. So yeah, you can come to LinkedIn. If you know me on Facebook, I'm streaming this to my audience as well. So wherever you know me, just send me a message and I'll give you one of the 5 tickets.
Liku?
And I too, in the spirit of abundance, have a strong 5 tickets. And I'm in California. I had to cancel my flight, childcare, you know how it be. It's okay. So I really need 5 people to show up on my behalf.
Yes.
And hold it down. So like my sis Elona said, you got to take a boat, a skateboard. You can be in the building.
Listen, one of them little scooters. We gotta
right.
We can't hate on the scooters. These scooters are big now.
Get the scooters. I don't know if they're gonna stop at a certain point. You could just transfer it, but definitely make your way because outside has been back open for a long time, and to be in community in person and get this type of energy around this monumental book that Lisa has poured everything into is going to be a life-changing experience. So same here. You can message me on LinkedIn for one of those tickets and you will not be disappointed that you went.
I want to add one thing. Y'all, it is so pretty. Latrice designed everything. It is so pretty. And I know it's going to smell good too, because that's just how Lisa is. And Black people, we love
stuff to smell good. Yes.
Yes. But I want to do an event. And if I was to ever do an event, I'm getting Latrice. Latrice has blended her brand, not just not just what you see, but also what you feel. And I cannot wait to experience it. Just from what I've seen in our little Slack channel, I know it's going to be gorgeous. It's already gorgeous just with the JPEGs.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Listen, y'all. I mean, and I know I'm close to it. So even adjusting for my bias, right? Even adjusting for that with that margin of error. This event, what Latrice has designed, I don't know what I was expecting because there's a whole backstory that, again, everybody on this call knows. Things were about to go take a hard left. And Latrice got them back. Latrice got everything back on track. She said, I will help you. And she meant it. And it's just shown up in her fullness. And when I tell you, when she showed me the design, I was like, what is this? She found, in a good way, she found a way to make the book, the Know Yourself, Love Yourself, and Be Yourself. She's found a way to make the book come to life. That's the only way I can describe it. And, we're just like buried in a sea of pink and green right now in both our houses in the most beautiful way. But y'all got to come and see it because let me tell, there's QR codes and videos and all, I don't know. There's teas, there's a silent auction. Just come. You got to come and experience it. Okay, that's it. I keep promising not to talk too much and then I get excited.
It's your book launch. What can you do?
You said 5 was in the house. Let her play.
Right?
As the kids say today, let her cook.
Oh, she's cooking. She is cooking.
So the second section in Lisa's book is entitled Love Yourself. Curating a soft life is built on self-love. And what better way to love yourself than to fully allow yourself to be poured into by your big sister who's unable to attend your in-person event. So, 2 things. What code did I say to drop in the chat if you wanted to win the book? Drop it in the chat. Second, remember I said grab your tissues, TISSUHS, tissues. Grab your tissues. Sharon, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you, Alexis. Can I just say again, sis, congratulations on the birth of your book, baby. Because it is a thing. It is a thing. I was one of those early calls this morning.
She was.
Right. I was. And I got my notification as I woke up this morning that my book was being delivered. I have had it delivered to Lisa's house so that it can be signed and brought back to me in Barbados. And yeah, it's just, this thing is a whole vibe. This thing is a whole vibe. I am so delighted. As Lisa was saying earlier, we don't live. I remember we once had a conversation. I'm going completely off topic now. And
that's fine.
People said, people often come and want to imply that one of us is going to be jealous of the other's success. And I said, that is not how we live. That is not how we live. We celebrate each other. We pour into each other. We support each other, right? And so I could not be more delighted about this if it were my own book.
That's true. That's true.
Yes.
I know that is true because you have shown up, sis, and you have been, there have been shouts and screams of delight. There have been
Again. Oh my God. And it's such a full circle moment as well, because, 2.5 years ago, you were fronting my book launch for I'm Tired of Racism. And, I'm so delighted. I'm sorry I can't be there in person, but I'm so delighted to be part of this virtual event.
This is beautiful. Right? This is beautiful. I am just so happy. And like you said, full circle. And I just, it's huge. And, we have a true big sis, little sis relationship. Yes, we're, decades on into life right now, but the relationship is the same. So Sharon is the quintessential big sis and I'm the quintessential baby sis. And so, when I say that, and Sharon is the kind of human being that even if we weren't sisters, she's somebody that I would have the utmost respect for, because she just embodies excellence. I don't know any other way to put it. No, it's true. Like just embodies excellence. And so anytime, even before I started writing, I asked her advice. And then anytime I hit a little snag, first call, Sharon. Okay, this is what's happening. What should I do? 5 minutes later, I have like a whole strategic plan. That's how Sharon is. That's how she shows up. And so, when she posts about, borrow Sharon's brain and work with her, listen, I have been borrowing her brain for decades now, and let me tell you, it's worth it. So, I'm just gonna throw that out there. But yeah, just the mutual support is everything. We're really there for each other.
Thank you, sis. And it is such a pleasure to be on this panel of amazing women. And shout out to Latrice as well, right? Shout out to Latrice as well for everything that she is doing and has done and will be doing. Mm-hmm. Because, let me tell you, that in-person launch is going to be lit.
Yes.
Anyway, before our producer tries to snatch my edges for going completely off topic, let me get back to what I'm supposed to be doing.
Is she private chatting you?
No. Well,
okay, good.
Somebody just said great minds. So I'm guessing it's time for me to get back on track so we don't derail the whole thing. Okay, so Lisa and I are both Reiki masters, and one of the welcome side effects, so to speak, of our earliest training in Reiki was an introduction to manifestation and abundance. So this seemed a fitting excerpt, and I have actually flipped the script. I'm going to read my excerpt first, and then I have a little something coming after it for Lisa that she has not yet seen. So I'm reading Manifestation 101, Intro to Alchemy. So what is manifestation? Manifestation, also known as the law of attraction, is not new. It has been written about by Louise Hay, Abraham Hicks, Florence Scovel Shinn, and many others. It was also popularized by the book The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. It is the art of bringing a thought to reality. It is the ask and it shall be given of it all. Yes. So what do you want? No, really, what do you want for yourself, your life, and your loved ones? What do you want for your health, your relationships, your home? What do you want your days, career, and lifestyle to feel like? Do you even want a traditional career? And do you love yourself enough to ask for what you want? Side note, this is huge. Mm-hmm. Do you believe that you are worthy of having your wishes fulfilled? Give it all some thought. Also ponder, what do you not want? That's important to consider too. Curation is a twofold exercise, keeping what is needed and discarding what is not. It's like sculpture. You must chip away at and dispose of the unwanted material in order to reveal the masterpiece. As you go through the process of curating your experience and creating more space to exhale in your life, these are some of the questions you'll need to answer for yourself. Manifestation and the law of attraction are often associated with gaining material objects, financial abundance, and worldly achievements. There is nothing wrong with that per se, but I want to make sure that we expand our framing. Other side note, this is very Lisa, right? Always expanding the way we think about things. Yeah. Abundance is more than money, and material items aren't the only things that matter. Currency, cars, jobs, and houses are great, and we welcome them. But love, ease, health, peace, joy, rest, these are all priceless and can improve one's quality of life immeasurably. When I went through what was essentially a breakdown in 2024, you can read all about it in the rest chapter, one of my requests to the universe was for support. I didn't need another thing. I didn't need more clothes or shoes or jewelry. What I needed was love, hugs, and care. I needed rest, comfort, and a soft place to fall. My family, friends, and community showed up for me in exactly the ways I needed. My sister and niece called and texted regularly to check in on me. If I was silent for too long, I knew a WhatsApp call would be imminent. My friends, who are like family, checked in on me as well. Sometimes it was as simple as a text saying, "You okay?" That is all I needed to bring a smile to my face. It means a lot to be thought of. I spent some time in Philly with my father, stepmother, and stepsister just hanging out. There was nothing I needed to do and little I felt capable of doing, so I did absolutely nothing except enjoy the delicious vegan dishes they prepared for me, dance in the kitchen just because, and watch some good Nollywood movies. Heaven. My mother, angel that she is, very literally showed up as well. She made the trip from Barbados to New Jersey and spent 3 months with me. Her baby was in trouble, and she swooped in to handle things. It was very cuddly, but determined, not on my watch energy. It was so lovely. We hugged, we laughed, we chilled. We gave each other Reiki treatments. We binge watched Bridgerton, Gentle Reader, and a few other series as well. She helped me get more organized and feel more settled. It was absolute perfection. My TGE community, which I consider part of my extended family, came through for me too. They embodied the saying, love is a verb. Clearly, community is a verb too. A few of them stepped up and started posting more so that I could take a break. They blessed me with texts, gifts, and sister friend Zoom calls. They extended me so much grace, y'all. I had initially been planning to have a big IRL party just to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the community, but I just couldn't. My tank was below zero. Everyone was very understanding, and we kept the vibes low-key. I literally did one happy anniversary post, had our monthly community check-in, and that was that. Less was more. The blessing was that I felt free to show up or not show up and had no fear of being judged. I'm eternally grateful. All this is to say it's okay to ask for non-material blessings too. And the reason that I chose that is because, it is such... manifestation is such a part of our lives, actually. It is something we were introduced to a couple of decades ago now, and it's something that we have continued to lean on and refine, and it is something that delivers for us, right? And when Lisa does her affirmation, when she started her affirmations channel on TikTok and Instagram, I thought that is just perfection. That is so much who Lisa is, and so it's really not a surprise to me that permeates the entire book. The energy of affirmation, the energy of manifestation, the energy of possibility, the energy of curating and creating the life that you want. And, it is just so beautiful. And now, grab your tissues. Grab your tissues, because before you respond to that, I would just like to read what was supposed to be a love letter to you. And it is, although, of course, as often happens with these things, it took a turn. And so, there's a little bit of a historical element to it as well. You know how it goes. So it's short, but nonetheless heartfelt. So here we go. I believe in giving people their flowers when they can enjoy them. And so it gives me tremendous joy to give flowers today to my sister and fellow author, Lisa Hurley. Sis, you have been creative from your earliest days. I remember being in the living room in our house in Trinidad when you made up a song at the age of just 2 that I can still remember today. Right? I can still remember it today. And I'm sure you remember it too. You do. Right. Okay. That has become a cherished and unforgettable part of our family lore. From then till now, your ability to channel your creative muse has been inspiring. You often had a song on your lips and in your heart, so it wasn't a surprise when you chose words as your chief contribution to the world. And not just in your career, where you have created and contributed to national and international campaigns for some of the world's biggest brands, but in the privacy of your home, where you continue to write songs and poems for decades before you shared them with anyone, even me. So believe me when I say that you have always had a book in you. Maybe more, but let's go with this one today. It was just a matter of what, where, and when, and for waiting for the answers to those questions to become clear. That space to exhale would be beautifully phrased was a given. Our teachers spared no effort to drill us in the finer points of spelling, grammar, and appreciation for English writers and authors from around the globe. Sometimes that was a little bit painful, not gonna lie, but it worked. Right? And as the person that I always turn to when I need help with le mot juste, the right word or phrase, I have a sound appreciation for your phenomenal language skills. That it would include the topics that have been dear to your heart for decades wellness, rest, mental health, joy, and soft living was also a given, as was that it would be grounded in your experience as a Black woman of Caribbean heritage and as an adopted African American. On all fronts, it delivers. I was privileged to see some of the early versions of the manuscript, and I know how much of yourself you poured into every syllable. After reading it, I described it as part memoir, part self-help manual. I recognized many of the experiences we shared, as well as those we experienced separately when living in different countries. Talk about introverts uniting separately.
Yeah.
I felt, yeah, right. I felt the sunshine, which is at your core, and recognized the directness when you needed to deliver hard truths, all while promoting soft living. I saw the natural evolution of your journey as a healer in the affirmations and meditations. It is transcendent, truly, and a love letter to us all. As I know well, bringing a book to the world is no easy matter. There are a lot of details to be managed during the writing and editing process. And while I defy any author to have birthed their book without tears, you did as you advise in the book and knew when to set boundaries and when to let things go. I admire both your discernment and your grace. Watching you navigate the process to bring this beautiful and necessary book to the world has been an honor and a privilege. This is an If Lisa Was a Book.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
I'm going to say it again. This is an If Lisa Was a Book.
I
Right?
love it.
Everything from the beautiful pink and green, your favorite colors that remind me of a costume you danced in as a child.
Listen,
Right?
we
Everything
have that picture somewhere, right?
We have that picture somewhere. I don't know where it is, but we still have it.
We still have it.
I can picture
green.
it. You are
Yes.
in the garden in a flower costume, green petals, pink flowers.
Yes. And
Right?
a
I
green
know that I
bodysuit
remember
and
that picture.
everything. Oh my gosh, I can
Right.
see it. Yeah.
Right. So, yes. I'm going to say it one more time. This is an If Lisa Were a Book. Everything from the beautiful pink and green on the outside to the gems inside reflects the warmth and wisdom which are your trademark. You are truly an inspiration, and I'll be taking some of what I've learned from you to my next book project whenever that comes. To say that I am proud of you is a severe understatement, but I am. Love, Big Sis.
Oh.
Did you reach for the tissues? You reached for the tissues. Oh my gosh.
Your hair, oh sis.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. I Alexis knew this was going to happen.
Well,
Oh my gosh,
yes.
I've run
And this
out
is
of
part of
words.
the reason I didn't want to put it in beforehand. I wanted you to just experience it in the moment.
Oh, totally. No, I'm so glad you did it this way. Oh my gosh. Oh, hey, Annie. Annie is saying that was beautiful, sister love. Hey, Annie. Oh
Hey,
my
hi,
gosh.
Annie.
Like, woo. Yeah. Latrice and the moms and I went to pick her up, at the airport yesterday. It was just been some shenanigans and
Yeah.
lots of laughter since then. But sis, whoo, my heart. Thank you. And look, the thing is, when I say, I've said many times, 5-year-old Lisa is here in full effect, and and definitely in this moment, I'm feeling like, maybe 3-year-old Lisa, just wanting to, latch onto your t-shirt and just follow you and follow you around. Oh my gosh, and just be more like you, because you just are such an excellent person. And just I don't know, sis. Just to have you say, when you said, Lisa, you've written a great book, I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. That was my Kirkus review. That was my New York Times bestseller. I'm like, okay, I have arrived, right? Because Sharon has said my book is good. Like, because and it's funny because you said that you look to me, clearly I look to you as well in terms of words and that, right? And it's just Wow.
Ooh, a question.
A question.
When are
Oh,
we taking? When do we take questions in the moment? I don't know what the rule is, but I see a question. As a
yeah.
sister, and
I
also,
guess.
what advice did you give Lisa on her
Well,
journey?
let just answer it, and we'll find
Well,
out later. Right. We're gonna listen. We are going to exhale and go with the flow. Right.
we're gonna exhale and go with flow. Well, I want to go back to our Introvert Sisters podcast. Where's my book deal? That's probably where it started a couple of years ago, right? Yes, Kina. This is the first time that Lisa is hearing that. I kept that private because I wanted her to experience it fresh and live. I did not put it in our very excellent run of show document. I kept it to myself. This is the first time it has been read aloud.
Yeah. Ooh.
What advice did I give Lisa on her journey? Well, it's kind of like, we have talked about all aspects of the book publishing process, because I have self-published and she is traditionally published. We've talked about what's the same. We've talked about what's different. We've talked about what you absolutely have to do, what you can avoid. We have talked about literally everything, book launch, what is a reasonable number of people to show up? What is a reasonable number to go to, how many people should you ask for, to do advanced reviews?
Yes,
how many advanced reviews do you need? It's like we have talked, because we talk.
All of it.
We have talked about all of it.
Do you remember, sis, when I okay, as y'all can probably tell from how I write how I talk. So I wrote I massively overshot my word count massively. And
I remember that.
And so, Wiley, and big shout out to Wiley, because there would be no book without them. So shout out Wiley, and thank you for seeing me and giving me this opportunity. So Wiley was like, sis, if Wiley were a Black woman, right? Wiley was like, sis, sis, what are you doing? What are you doing? We said 60,000, you at 100,000. What's gonna happen, right? And so I had to cut. I know I was at 100. No, I was at 130,000. Girl, and so I had to cut 30,000 words in a couple of days. And I was like, oh dear. Again,
there was not the word.
No, it was.
But we're keeping it PG.
It was something, but not dear, right? Mm-hmm. But so here's the thing, and some of you will say, I have a post later on. Some of you have seen it before, where I have our family tree in books, because what some of you might not know is that our father is a published author several times over as well. So he has authored, translated, edited various books. And so I have a post with, like 3 of his books at the top, and then Sharon's two books in print at the bottom, and then in the middle, and then my book at the bottom, right? So it's like our family tree in books. And so with that in mind, when I heard that, and I was like, I have to delete 30,000 words in like 2 days, I think it was. I called Daddy and I called Sharon. Probably actually in the reverse. Or I think I called Sharon, then I called Daddy. I'm like, what do I do? How do I approach this? On another note, another person that I reached out to was my book coach, Lovey Ajayi Jones. So big shout out to Lovey. She's in the book in the acknowledgements. Go read it. Shout out. That's all I can say. Shout out and big love to Lovey Ajayi Jones. But I called them because they're in my family and they're writers and they're you all know I believe in consulting with experts. And if the experts are in your own family, so much the better. So I'm like, nobody can tell me how to approach this better than Sharon, right? She is a trained journalist since her early to mid 20s, I think.
Early 20s.
Early 20s, right? So a trained journalist, the possessor of 2 master's degrees. When she went for the second master's, I'm like, Sharon, do we need to?
Well, growing up Caribbean, that's all. That's
exactly.
I did the certificate, and then I was like,
it just made sense.
I was 2 years away from the master's, so why not?
You did it. But this is the, so she has her 2 masters. My dad has his, MPhil and his doctorate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is the kind of environment in which I grew up. And I was like, I'm gonna ask Sharon what to do, and she is going to know exactly what to do. She's a trained journalist. Like I said, she has all of her degrees. She has years of experience. She has created curricula for journalism curriculums. I don't know if it's curriculums or curricula, but you know what I mean. For Coventry University in the UK, she's gonna know how to edit. She's gonna know if it's one thing she knows, she's gonna know how to edit. And so I reached out to her, and she said, do this, and this. And then I reached out to my dad, and he gave me his advice as well. One thing that really stuck with me, he said, but at the end of the day, make sure that you have written your book. Make sure that you're, edit, but don't edit out your own voice.
Yes, and I remember when I was talking to you, I said, keep everything that you cut, because you're going to be able to use it, because it is still your words and what you wanted, and you're going to be able to use it somewhere else.
Yes.
In another book, in another something, because, this was the book that you wrote.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Yes, it was.
All right. It was great.
Right.
So that's lots of good advice from Sharon, per usual. And, yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
All right. Oh, man.
So I don't know about anybody else, but The Lion King, Can You Feel the Love Tonight is playing in my
Yes.
I hear that.
We can feel it. We're feeling the love.
First of all, this is a book that Lisa. It is you. It is.
Thank you.
It is, Sharon. You have aptly described this. If you don't know Lisa, if you've never met her, if you've never experienced her, and this is your first introduction to it, you will be able to meet you in person and see the direct correlation to the book. Like, it is of who you are. We do have one question for both of you, if you want to indulge.
Sure.
Can you talk about what Reiki is and how it aligns with the book's message? Because not everyone may understand what Reiki is.
All right. Reiki is a healing art, an energy healing art, originally from Japan, rediscovered. It taps into the universal energy that is all around us. And Reiki practitioners are conduits of that energy to help people heal and distress and so on. It made its way to the West in the 1940s-ish, 1950s-ish, and has been all around the world. A testament to which is that we actually learned this art in Barbados, right? Our mother is also a Reiki master, right? And she is our Reiki master. So like that is a doubly special relationship.
Yes.
And what it basically does, it allows you to help facilitate healing with a series of hand positions which correlate to the major organs or the chakras, or however you want to think about it, and basically puts your body in a good space to heal itself. But it also, importantly and more aligned with Lisa's book, Reiki treatments relax you and put you in that same energy that you get when you meditate deeply. And so it is literally, it allows you to exhale, it allows you to relax, it allows you to de-stress. Lisa, you want to add anything?
Partially, I do want to say another great thing about being little sis is that big sis can always know, she's like, I'm gonna have to take this one because Lisa's not gonna do it. So thank you so much for taking the lead on that. And yes, the you covered most, basically all of it. And the only thing I want to add is that the book itself, I wanted the book to be almost like Reiki infused. I'm not sure how else to phrase it. I wanted it to be a good, high vibrational, good energy book that people would, they touch it and they feel it and they feel better, and there's, their journaling prompts and affirmations and meditations and all of that. And a little bit of edge snatching from time to time, absolutely. But that is in the spirit of love. But all of it is just meant to help people relax and get into a good and vibrational and energetic space so that they can heal themselves, which is how it parallels with Reiki.
And I wanted to say that, part of being a Reiki master is also about self-mastery.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't get any closer to that than by knowing yourself, loving yourself, and being yourself.
There you go. So that's it.
Yeah. I hope that answered the person's question.
It sounds like a great experience, a great modality for people to dip their toes into if they're not familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
It is.
For sure. Life-changing.
Sharon, I know you too have a gift for the community.
I do. Because, I can't be there. I'm in Barbados. So I'm going to need 5 people to step up and turn up on my behalf to Lisa's in-person launch on Saturday in Newark, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have 5 sponsored tickets to give away. You all know me from LinkedIn. First come, first serve. Send me a DM if you want one of those tickets. And we will make that happen, right? You all got to go and represent. Represent.
I love it. By the way, I just want to say, and you all will all appreciate this as well, and especially Latrice. So when I was thinking of having a launch, again, Sharon was one of the first people I called, and I said, well, I want it to be like meditative, but I'm from the Caribbean, and so I want it to turn into a party afterwards and have some calypso. And she was like, Lisa, she was like, there'll be time for calypso. There'll be time for you to have a celebratory twerk. The event is not that time. The event needs to fully bring I'm just saying, listen, you have to be able to be teachable. It's so important, right? And it's not that I can't. Now, I have done a couple of celebratory twerks in the privacy of my home. I will say that much. I have.
As you should.
Right? As I should. But Sharon was like, focus on the event and the experience that you want people to have. And the event needs to reflect the book. So I'm saying this to all of you and also to Latrice. Latrice, you have Sharon to thank that I didn't try to turn it into some kind of West Indian Brown. But
that'll be another time.
Another time there will be a West Indian Brown. Okay, moving on. And thank you, sis, for and sis, Elona, Liku, everybody. Thank you so much for donating those tickets. I appreciate it.
Lisa, we want people to experience the gift that is you, right?
Aww.
So I'm sure no other book launch has chosen this sort of approach. So can you lead us in a meditation break, please?
I most certainly can, and I will right now. I will lead us in a meditation break, and this is a meditation that is in the book, and it is called a metta meditation, METTA, also known as a loving kindness meditation. And so, get yourself into a comfortable position wherever you are, whether you're seated, lying down, wherever you are, get comfortable. If you're seated, keep your back straight and your eyes closed. And then smile very, very gently. Focus on your breath, inhaling and exhaling slowly through your nose for a count of 5. So let's do a few of those together. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale through your nose once again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And keep breathing softly and slowly. You don't need to keep counting your breaths. Just keep breathing slowly, softly, gently. And now visualize an image of yourself in your mind. And place your hands on your heart and say these words to yourself, either mentally or out loud, whatever makes you feel more comfortable. So say to yourself, may I be safe, happy, and healthy. May I be peaceful, blessed, and at ease. May I be abundant, compassionate, and grateful. May I be free from all pain. May I be filled with loving kindness. Next, bring to mind someone you love very much and say to them, may you be safe, happy, and healthy. May you be peaceful, blessed, and at ease. May you be abundant, compassionate, and grateful. May you be free from all pain. May you be filled with loving kindness. Now, imagine someone you feel neutral about. Say those words to them as well. May you be safe, happy, and healthy. May you be peaceful, blessed, and at ease. May you be abundant, compassionate, and grateful. May you be free from all pain. May you be filled with loving kindness. Next, think about someone that you experience as difficult and say to them, may you be safe, happy, and healthy. May you be peaceful, blessed, and at ease. May you be abundant, compassionate, and grateful. May you be free from all pain. May you be filled with loving kindness. If challenging feelings come up for you like anger, sadness, or regret, that's okay. Do your best to observe the emotions and experience them fully. And if tears start to fall, that's okay too. Just let it all out. And now think about the planet, about as many people and situations as you can, and say these words. May all beings be safe, happy, and healthy. May all beings be peaceful, blessed, and at ease. May all beings be abundant, compassionate, and grateful. May all beings be free from all pain. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. And finally, focus on yourself once again, wishing yourself these things. May I be safe, happy, and healthy. May I be peaceful, blessed, and at ease. May I be abundant, compassionate, and grateful. May I be free from all pain. May I be filled with loving kindness. So now bask in this positive energy for as long as you wish. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Ashe. Okay, and so come back into the room when you can, when you feel ready. Whew.
Lisa,
Yes.
as someone who practices meditation, do you know what I was waiting for at the end of your meditation? The gong.
Right?
We
have not gongs, but those bomby drums that they're going to be at the in-person event. So you will get more of that kind of experience. I'm so happy that you were waiting for the gong.
Oh.
So you're feeling the exhale?
Look, I'm feeling something. Okay, there's a lot of emotions over here.
But tell me what you're feeling. What are you feeling? Tell me.
I was gonna say, one, I did not participate in the meditation because I was checking Amazon to see if my book had the status had changed from shipped to out for delivery.
I love it.
It had not, and so now I'm activated again. My nervous system should have participated in the meditation.
Well, listen, you will go back on the replay. You'll catch the
Yes.
replay and you
Yes.
will
Yes.
center yourself then.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh,
But-
too funny.
Well, who are listening, what do we settle on, Lisa? A green heart if you're feeling healing from today's conversation, from meditation. Drop a pink heart if you're feeling the love.
Oh, yes.
Drop a fire emoji. Whatever you feel like sharing with Lisa before we transition into our final element of the framework. Be yourself. Oh, I love the flowers. Oh, I love the flowers. I appreciate that one.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
So, Lisa,
Aw.
this last section, be yourself. Curating a soft life is based on being true to yourself. You know, everyone, you've witnessed Lisa in her full authenticity. The author, the teacher, the Reiki master, meditation maestro. I made that one up for you.
I
Okay?
love it.
Yeah. Soft life advocate. So, Lisa, you know, I want to bring LaTonya into this portion of the conversation.
Mhm.
You know, you model authentic living for others. So I'm curious, how does authentic soft life or soft living show up in your work or your daily practices?
Mhm. And thank you for asking that because, you know, the universe forces you, right? Has anybody ever said, "Oh, I'm never gonna," whatever it is, and as soon as you say that, the universe is, okay, let's test this theory, right? This whole book, God was like, "Oh, you're writing about soft living? Let's see about that," right? Because there's right, LaTonya, you already know there is book stuff. There's the writing of the book, the marketing of the book. I have a 9 to 5. I have a life, right? And so I really had to put put everything to the test and how that looked like. For example, let's take last week. There was a time at which I realized I'm like, okay, I'm really tired and I have 1,000 things to do. Both of those are true. And I checked my work computer and I had no meetings. And by some miracle, I checked my personal computer and I had no meetings. And I'm like, oh, this is great. 3 hours later, I woke up from a nap. because you have to realize that there are times when you are so tired you can't actually, you can't function. You're staying up and you're trying to push through and you're doing all these things, but what are you really achieving? We've some of us have been laughing because as you all know, I've been saying I owe Latrice some homework, right? And I still owe her the homework, right? And we spoke. I still do. We were all on a call last night, and I said I had some stuff to do. I did one of the 3 things. The most important thing was I need to get the press release out. I did that, and then I went to sleep because guess what? I could not do anything else. So it's making those choices in the moment for, okay, how can I be gentler with myself? How can I be softer with myself? Before this call, I was like, you cannot show up to this hungry. This is not I'm just going to have a cup of coffee kind of thing. I was like a true like some West Indians. When I tell you I had food for breakfast, I'm talking rice and peas, and some naan and some dal and whatever. I had a full meal in the spirit of self-love and self-care because I'm like, I have to show up to this in my fullness and be on and be able to be there and be high energy. So sometimes people think that soft living is some woo-woo theoretical thing. It is little decisions every day about showing up and how do you show love to yourself every day. So that's it. And side note, LaTonya, I'm loving first of all, your hair, always. Let's just say that. Shout out to the hair.
That's the soft life right here.
That's the soft life right there.
This is it for me.
That's it, right? You have the hair going on and you're pink and you're just looking beautiful. So thank you again. Thanks for showing up. So yeah, what do you have?
Well, first of all, just congratulations to you for
Thank
what you have
you.
done. I told you that when I read your book, because Lisa gave me a preview of it, gave me the book, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. There's no book that's been written quite like this. And I'm going to say this because I know that we all experience trauma. We all go through situations. But to read a book that did not just bury us in trauma and leave us there, it actually gave real action steps around how to do it. And it was done. So that's why I said you wrote the blueprint for how we need to write books, especially for Black women and women, hopefully moving forward. So thank you for what you also offer to the world as your gift.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, Lisa, I want to go back to something you said really quickly about pushing through and, being yourself, being your best self, being your ideal self. Sometimes we forget in that quest to push through, to check something off the box, in the quest to do things, we forget the cost. So we
Yes.
can push through. However, if you're so fatigued, you're so exhausted, you are so hungry, you can't think straight, then you do the work, but you got to redo it later because you weren't at your best. So for LaTonya, I want to know for you, how do you stay in flow when life gets challenging? Because I know you are juggling all of the things, right?
Listen,
Yes.
sister is busy.
You know, and I'm just going to go ahead and let you all know, as you all, and most people don't know this. So I am an autism mom. I operate in intersections every single day.
Yes.
Every single day. So it's not just LaTonya, natural hair, X, Y, and Z. It's LaTonya, the autism mom. And although I recognize I'm a mom, that is important to me, but I am LaTonya first. So I'm saying that to say that I've given my son the space to have his sensory support that he needs. And I moved right into the bathroom. So that's where I'm recording from today.
Yes.
So I'm going to say the number one thing, Alexis, for your question, for me, the number one thing, honestly, it has really helped me before I was a mom and as a mom is literally I want to say like my hand-holding relationship with God. My hand-holding relationship, because I can do a lot of things. I can get a lot of rest. I can get sleep, which I do. I get 8 hours sleep a night. I do all those different things. But my mind is the thing that governs what I do most. And my mind has to be in a position where it is really governing every single decision that I make. So for me, it started years ago when I became a Christian at 5. It has never left me. That's the difference, I think, in my own personal story, is that that's what it's always been. And so my faith is what drives me. My faith when things are going well, my faith when things are not going well, my faith right now in this room while my son is doing what he needs to do to get himself regulated, because it is his central nervous system. And so a part of that too for me was also, I learned a lot from autism through my son. I learned about the sensory diet. I learned that he not only had to have a sensory diet, but I chose to have one too. So I chose to be able to do things like making sure I'm in spaces where, when I say spaces, I mean in my home, where I have a space to go and pray, a space to go and just, let my things go and let it out, a space to have a friend to call when I need to be able to talk about X, Y, and Z. So those things are me. And I think the thing about me is I just say what has to be said.
Yes.
And I know that people think that's something that's hard to do. It's not. I've been in so many meetings where I said exactly what needed to be said, and the time that needed to be said, and the tone that needed to be said.
Amen.
And things shifted in the room, and people got what they needed.
Right.
And I'm just going to say this, and this is not about me. This is about the Lord, how he will use you in different spaces. There's a reason why people got promoted, a reason why people are recruited, a reason why people got career development plans, a reason why Black women are now sitting in leadership positions, a reason why certain things are happening, because he will use anybody. It don't have to be me. He can use anybody to do what he has to do. So I just think that number one, faith is like really, really huge for me. And so I don't do things that go against my purpose. And I'll kind of stop.
Say that one right there. Just say that one, please. Just repeat that last one more time for the people. Please.
I have learned to do things that do not go against my purpose. And I can say this for the audience, because people might need to hear this. Most people know my positions in X, Y, and Z, right? Amazon, head of DI, boom, boom, boom. But what most people don't know is that I have always made positions. I made decisions around my purpose in education and government and nonprofit. That's not the only position I've ever had. But I also chose to do things like leave high profile positions because I was done. My purpose was done. And so I exited right on out and decided to go ahead and focus on my son and my next purpose. And not many people know that, but I'm saying that because you have the right to do that, because you want to make sure that you're aligned to your purpose. And nobody can tell you that except you.
Wow. Listen, every time you talk, I'm like, where's the collection plate? I'm like, it's church. It's church. I love it. I love it because, and you just speak from the heart and with such complete conviction, right?
Yeah.
And with such energy, and frequently you can tell that what you're saying is being channeled through you to share, and I just love and appreciate that. And I'm so, listen, everybody on this call, I am just so happy that y'all are here to celebrate this. I will never forget this. I'll never forget you being here. Never forget y'all being here and just sharing this day and this moment with me, because this means everything. And y'all are just the absolute best. You see, listen, let me tell you, I have a whole chapter about friends, right? A whole chapter about curating your circle and about friends and so on and so forth. My bestie Annie, who she is, I'm sitting basically in my living room right now. She is down the hallway in the guest bedroom watching on YouTube, right? She flew in last night to be here with me for my big week, right? Everybody on this call is like, oh, I said, hey, I would really like it if, and everything, right. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? Of course, I'm going to be there. Curating your circle, right? Curating your circle is a form of self-care. Curating your circle and making sure you're surrounded with the right kind of people that are vibrating at the right level, that are aligned, with whatever you need them to be aligned with. Let them be aligned. Now, I am both a church girl and a believer in all things esoteric. My thing is let the energy and the integrity be on point, and I'm good. And that is, that is what everybody on this call today, on this stage, on this virtual stage, that is what this is. And so just sharing that as well.
Can I ask something in, Alexis, real quick? I don't think many people know this, and I want to say this because I'm speaking about autism, right? So Lisa, you might not remember this, but when we first met, it was because you asked to meet my son. And not many people actually do that.
Yeah.
Most people will just look at your post and think that it's just something that's just there. This is my life. And so when I met you, and I think he was out that day. And so we didn't get a chance to do the connection, but I was like, oh my gosh, my son gets to actually meet a real person he can connect with. Yeah. But the fact that you took time to do that says a lot about your character. And that is when I first, said, oh yes, this is somebody I want to be connected to, because that's important, because people see all the other things that you do, but they don't necessarily understand and see that small type of seed that you planted meant a lot. And therefore, now when I show him your picture, he's like, Lisa, he knows who you are. And that's huge for our home. So thank you for doing that.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. And listen, let me tell you, I did a post a few days ago when you and I did our podcast episode a couple weeks ago, right? And I started off with, she checked in on me. I don't know if you remember this. Because so Alexis, alluded to, the dark period in my life.
Yes.
Right. The trough of darkness, right? I was in the pit of despair. And I don't know what it was that was different, but LaTonya somehow, and again, we were not at that stage where we were like texting all the time or nothing like that, which actually made this mean even more. Right. And she just kept, it was like 5 different texts I never answered. I'm just gonna be honest, because I was so sunken. I just could not. I couldn't really do much. But I saw them. I saw the text. You just be, hey sis, how you doing? Checking in on you. Hey Lisa, are you okay? Checking in on you. Call me anytime. I'm available at 5 p.m. Right? I got about 3 of those. Well, if you can't do 5, how about 5:30? because she was she was determined to let me know that she was there for me and not to extract anything from me, but to be there for me because she could tell something was not right. She was like, this person that I feel positively toward is not doing well right now. I want to be there, right? Just to pour into me. And so that meant the world to me, because we've all, again, we're not going to go there. We've all discussed about the opposite, about the extraction. We're not going there today. We're keeping it high vibrational, but I appreciated that you did that. And so again, curating your circle is definitely a form of self-love and self-care in action.
I want to bring this full circle based on something that LaTonya said about, God will use you to get the message out. And that is what the book is.
Oh,
That is,
Absolutely.
it is meant for someone. Multiple someones need to read this book. Multiple someone need to know that someone gave a damn, somebody cared about.
we were doing so well, but DAMB.
Someone
we'll spell it that way. It'll be softer.
So it hits.
Wait, so what's that, soft like cousin? Or I don't know what that is.
Somebody cared about them
Yes.
enough to weather their own storm, seek support, seek help, persevered, faced obstacles, and still continued because they knew that this book was meant to help someone, because that's the message that it from their source.
Yes.
So thank you for, saying that, LaTonya, because I think that message is so important. Like we sometimes can be in our own heads and think very from a silo perspective. It's I'm writing it for me. Oh, I know it. Maybe it'll help someone. No, there's no maybe about that. This book will transform people's lives, and this Lisa Hurley is the perfect vessel by which it is coming to fruition.
Thank you. Wow.
So for you, two questions for you. If you think about being yourself in your next chapter, and being in this time in the space where, it feels as if things are crumbling to some degree, being reborn and rebirthed across the globe, not just here in the US, but across the globe, what would you share that you have felt in your own space to exhale as it relates to like this new creation that kind of feels we're undergoing? And the new space that you are undergoing as a published author.
Well, okay, so let me answer the second one first. How am I feeling as a published author? Freaking amazing. There's no other way to put it. Absolutely amazing. And let me tell you, so this is what the book looks like, and this is the dust cover, right? And then this is the hard case. And so it's like, and what people don't realize is the amount of love and care and attention that went into the book itself is a curation. And then inside here, right, the fly page and the paste down is baby pink, because those are the colors. And the green is chosen because it's the color of healing. And the pink was chosen because it's the color of unconditional love. So the entire book is meant to be a conduit to healing. So when I went to sleep early this morning, I took my book inside with me, right? I cuddled it and then read a couple of pages and felt amazing. And I'm like, okay, everything that happened was worth it. And I thank God for the problems. I thank God for the problems, because the problems were the catalyst to help me push to get my vision manifested exactly the way that I wanted it to. This was not something about which I was prepared to compromise, because books are permanent, right? So I am feeling amazing. I'm feeling proud of myself. I am feeling like I did that. That's how I'm feeling. Boom. So there. Okay. In terms of the world and what is happening right now, I truly believe that the book, I hope and believe that the book is timely. I believe the book is timely. I believe it coming out right now when so many things are going on in the world and it feels like everything is a constant dumpster fire. This is one of the books. There are many, right? But this is one of the books that people can turn to for comfort, for guidance. There are prayers at the beginning of every chapter. I have prayers for, listen, all kinds prayers for friendship, prayers for your career, prayers for surviving, working while Black, prayers, right? Because let's just keep it real. So there are prayers for everything. The goal is to keep people prayerful and focused on the inner and the upper, right? As above, so below, as within, so without. So that with all of the dumpster fire-ism that is happening, we can remain more centered, remain more grounded, make better choices about what we choose to engage with, because we do not have to participate in every argument that we're invited to. We do, right? We don't. We can relax. That is not to say not to pay attention. It's not to say to this is not a call to disengage completely from life. This is a call to preserve your energy and use it in the way that you are purpose led to do. That is what I want for people to experience with the book. So I think that this is where, this is where it's positioned. It had to come out now. It had to come out now. Not before. And also, can I just say, so I am, with all transparency, I am in my, as you can tell, I can't even remember. So I'm in my mid-50s, right? I was like, wait, how old am I? So I'm in my mid-50s, right? And I just want to say this as well, because, and we have a variety of ages on the call, but all of us are women, not girls. I will say that. And I could not have written this book as a girl when I was a girl. I had to write it. It had to be written by me with, yes, having gone through the pit of this despair, but also gone through a lot of joys, a lot of achievements, a lot of experiences. And it is the expression of all of that. I could not have written this in my 40s or 30s, and definitely not in my 20s. And all that is not a criticism of those decades. All those decades had to happen to get me here. So I'm grateful for them, grateful for the journey, but this fruition, the seed that was planted, the fruition had to happen now and could not happen any earlier. So it is the long delayed gratification, but ooh, child, is it worth it? Absolutely. It is worth it. And I just want people to get something positive from it. That's it.
So Lisa, thank you. We have kept our people way past our original.
Way past. And I know LaTonya has a little giveaway too, and so on and so forth. It's like there's a lot, but we're gonna get there.
So I want to make sure we get to the book giveaway because our audience is depleted. So LaTonya, real quick, like, what are you giving away to the community?
Yes, I'm going to say, so what if showing up alone was never the point? This is why we need to make sure we have people who show up on June 21st for Lisa's live event. So I definitely have 5 tickets to give away. You're more than welcome to DM me directly. As y'all know, I will respond to every DM that's relevant. And so I want you to go ahead and send me the DM if you are going to be in Newark. I will not be able to be there, which is why I'm here today. And I would love anyone who follows me, newsletters, social media, to go ahead and DM me for those tickets. Thank you.
Yay. Awesome.
I forgot to add, I don't have 5. I have 4. Since somebody took me up on my offer yesterday. So just I have 4 tickets available. If you will in fact be in the Newark area, please don't say yes if you won't be here or you have no plans to be here.
That's true. And I also I have 3 VIP tickets. So right VIP. So definitely DM me on LinkedIn, and yeah, we'll figure it out.
So, Lisa,
Hmm.
the book giveaway. I want to make sure that
Yes. You
those
want to do it now?
folks who had an opportunity to drop
Yes, absolutely.
that, we want to make sure that folks have an opportunity to win.
Absolutely.
Now, full transparency, it's not signed. But that is more motivation if you will be in the area to show up on Saturday and get it signed.
Yes.
You kind of get what you get, which is
Yeah.
fine.
Which
But
is fine
for-
because it's beautiful either way.
correct. So Latrice is going to there we go. She is going to demo to us.
Oh wow.
Yes. In real time, who our winner is. Lynn!
Lynn! Oh my gosh. Congratulations, Lynn. Oh, that's awesome.
Lynn. So
Ooh,
Lynn,
ooh.
Latrice will drop on the chat where, who, what you need to do for next steps. But congrats again. So everyone, I want to bring this back full circle before I turn it over to Lisa to close us out for this afternoon. First, thank you to all of the amazing women who have invested their time. Thank you, not just for today, but being along for the journey that helped Lisa arrive to Tuesday, June 17th, 2025 as a published author. Okay. Coaching client.
Let me stop. I'm acting now. I'm sorry.
Be extra. What were you doing?
I was dancing with my book, girl, but we have to listen. We have gone so far over, so let's
Yes.
we have let's bring it back in. So yes,
we gotta land this baby. Okay,
we gotta land it. We're gonna land it. We're gonna land this plane.
But ultimately, from coaching client to published author, Lisa is that representation of what happens when you embody knowing yourself, loving yourself, and being yourself. I hope wherever you are today, you pause to exhale, maybe collectively or not. But Lisa, thank you so much. I am sure I can speak for all of the women here. We are honored to be within the circle and extend our heartfelt congratulations on what today means, and are super excited to continue what Liku has coined Space to Exhale Week. Continue
Right
on Saturday.
Oh, thank you. Listen, I don't even know what to say, but thank you all. Listen, y'all know if I start, I'm a cry. So, but thank you all from the bottom of my heart, all of you here on stage and Latrice backstage. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here along the way, and also being here to mark today, because this is important. This is a memory and an experience I will never forget. I'll be forever grateful. So thank you for that. And with that, because we are way over, I'm going to read the epilogue from the book and then close us out. So, and thank you everybody who showed up in the comments and attended. Thank you too. Mwah, love you all. And so I'm going to do one last reading and then close us out. So here it goes. And this is the last poem in the book. This is the epilogue, called Why I Breathe. To understand the infinite, to catch a whiff, a hint of it, to manifest my soul's desires, to rise like phoenix through the fire, to amplify my depth of love, express it both here and above, to magnify my radiant heart, to share my beauty and my art, to hear God when he speaks to me. These are the reasons why I breathe. To feel my soul expand and stay wide open as I sit and pray, for grace and hope, for love and faith, for gratitude in midst of pain, to feel the freedom of release, to live true joy and be true peace, to know that I am one with him, and I am blessed by seraphim who keep me strong when courage leaves. These are the reasons why I breathe. A softer life awaits on this side of the veil, a pace more slow, an inner glow, a co-created grail. Yes, a softer a softer life awaits on this side of the veil, a sense of ease, a gentle breeze that brings space to exhale, to build connection with my tribe, to feel more balanced and alive, to elevate my energy, to cultivate serenity, to be obedient to my guide, make my ancestors smile with pride, to daily give the best of me, receive all that is meant for me, to know in me he is well pleased. These are the reasons why I breathe. To understand the infinite, to catch a whiff, a hint of it, to manifest my soul's desires, to rise like phoenix through the fire, to amplify my depth of love, express it both here and above, to magnify my radiant heart, to share my beauty and my art, to hear God when he speaks to me. These are the reasons why I breathe. And with that, thank you so much for joining this special Pub Day episode of Space to Exhale, the podcast. If you want to dive deeper into what we discussed today, be sure to get a copy of my book, Space to Exhale, available now, today, June 17, on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and wherever books are sold. Go to spacetoexhalebook.com for more details. Also, make sure to follow and support everyone who is on the virtual stage today and backstage. These ladies are all professionals with expertise, experience, education, and enterprises. I have hired and or supported them all in some capacity over the years, and they have all done the same for me. Yes, even my sister. We hire each other. So do the necessary. Goodbye for now, and I will see you next week. And remember, you are worthy of rest. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of having time and space to exhale. Bye.